Yeah.
Well,
just-
I turned the temperature up so the power went down.
All right, Sean Paul.
That sucked.
I just saw the Steelers posted yesterday a video of Aaron Rodgers walking out, and they wrote like he's here, and all the comments are just like, "This sucks. Why do we do this? Like, I fucking hate this. It's so good."
Yeah, that makes me happy. That guy sucks.
Yeah.
That guy sucks. He's such a douche.
He's the
Be
worst.
shame if he tore his Achilles.
Real shame.
The other one or same one second time?
Either one.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like during his Packer days, like I didn't root for him, but I didn't really have like a massive issue with him. And obviously, like I'm not as tuned into football as you guys are, so I'm sure a lot of people were annoyed with him for a really long time. But I feel like the Wisconsin media, which like does that exist? The Wisconsin media, like they definitely let him get away with a lot more douchiness than like the New York media is gonna or allowed him to get away with.
He didn't really become a huge cock until later in his career. Like I think he was just like a humble, like maybe not humble is the wrong word, but he just seemed more down to earth and less of a political piece of shit than he is now.
Well, like,
yeah, less like he knew better than every person in the room always.
I think COVID broke his brain much like it did with, you know, your Joe Rogans.
I will preface this where I don't believe in just shut up and dribble. But like in his case, he probably
Maybe shut up like a little bit.
Yeah.
There's some people that should just shut up and do their job. Like J.K. Rowling, just shut up and write. Please, just shut up and write.
Or don't even write. Just be rich. Just be wealthy.
We talked about this on an episode. Just shut
If
up and
I had
like
$2 billion, you know what I would fucking do? Spend $2 billion.
Nothing.
Yeah. I'm going to amend my list. Stuff that sucks. Everything J.K. Rowling has done since she finished Harry Potter.
God damn, man. Including not just like the trans stuff and the political activism, also the stuff she's added to Harry Potter. Like wizards disappearing their shit. No one asked for this.
Yeah.
All right. What's our order? Anybody have a...
I wish I had done... I wish I had thought of this beforehand. I should have made it an anagram so it spelled out sucks. That would have been good.
Would have been good.
Yeah, well, I mean...
I wish I was good at content. Andrew, what's the order?
Griffin, Matt, Thomas, Andrew.
Griffin, Matt, Griffin first, man.
I'm just making that up. We've long since left like the days of like having a rotating order.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Something
America. Isn't that like a morning talk show? Good morning,
Good
America.
Morning America. Yeah.
Yeah. Just add a T there.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, the America. Good morning, today's America.
Tomorrow's.
Not yesterday's.
Good morning, trans America.
There you go.
J.K. Rowling's least favorite show.
That's the winner.
That's a company. I don't know what they do, Transamerica, but there's a big building in Baltimore that says Transamerica.
Shipping company.
Shipping,
that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, they were a shipping company. Now they might be like, I don't know, AI, but I think they were a shipping company.
I remember because they're big buildings in
or
Baltimore.
I guess a freight company. They would not, whatever. You know what I mean?
I was watching an Orioles game there and I zoomed in on the building and I said, this is the future the Libs want. So
that's good concept.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That didn't suck.
Speaking of AI, I have you guys ever used like the visual shit with ChatGPT? It's fucking wild. Like
I with ChatGPT, you know,
it's like we're cooked. We're done. Like we're actually done.
I use ChatGPT almost exclusively for work. I don't use it for anything else.
I only use it for like finding me pesticide labels and comparisons quicker than me finding it, and writing spray programs, but don't tell my boss that.
I don't really. Yeah, the only time I've ever used the visual was because I wanted to create a picture of Jabba the Hutt in a Luka Doncic jersey and make the joke that this is what the Mavericks.
You're such a piece of shit.
Well, no, my joke was this is what the Mavericks are pretending like they traded away. Like the stuff that came out about Luka after they traded him was literally like he was Jabba the Hutt.
Have you seen the ones that people are doing now with him as like a super fucking like massive bodybuilder?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good. 'Cause, I mean, like he definitely looks a little bit skinnier, and they've got him with like 17 abs. And I'm like, it's too many abs.
One that really made me laugh is I don't know who he was with, but like the slow motion video of DJ Khaled running with some like super in shape black guy. Someone was like, "This is LeBron and Luca training this summer."
So like the picture and video like creation is like a piece of it, but it also like has this thing where, and I'm sure a lot of the apps do, not just ChatGPT, but like you just point your camera at stuff and it starts telling you what it is and like can make suggestions about shit and just like it's like in real time, just crazy. Like again, we're cooked.
Did not know that.
What would I do if I pointed it at you?
You would know everything about him.
Pointed
If I
at
pointed
Andrew,
at
fat
you-
Jew.
Would it be like 1 through 5, this guy sucks?
No, not even a little bit. You don't really look all that Jewish. You look Middle Eastern. You don't really look Jewish. You used to look a lot more Jewish.
I wasn't
is what I'll
offended
say.
by the Jewish part, and the fact that you thought I might be means that you're anti-Semitic.
I see. I would have been more offended by the Jewish part if I'm being, fully honest with you.
My
Depends how you say
number
it.
one is
I don't love that I'm recording this.
yeah. My number one is our introduction to our episodes. Our
Minutes into it.
preamble.
Skipping right ahead to the third person picking. It's the show he's currently on. All right.
Yeah, it's kind of wild that he has the Jews under his stuff that sucks list. All right.
He's like, I guess I got to change my number 5.
All right, I think we're good to go. I think that's as good a reason to start as any. Oh, okay. All right, first time in the year.
Griffin, you look moved in. I literally was just thinking, I was like, oh, you're already kind of set up and you just moved.
You should see the other half of this room where there's stuff just scattered around.
It's just, I know that life. You make the background look good, and then everything else is chaos.
First thing I put up, one of the first things I put up was a bookshelf. So yeah,
I didn't even acknowledge yet that this is now the 5th, 6th location that you're recording List Night from.
I think this is the 6th location because DC apartment, Julia's mom's house, 3 California apartments, and now Phoenix. Yeah, and I may have recorded an episode from. Oh, I also recorded at least
Same
one
day?
episode from my buddy Tyler's house.
Oh yeah, when you're watching his dogs, right?
And
I
did
just meant
one
like
from
the
a
6th
hotel
place
room.
I just mean like the 6th different place you've lived since we've done List Night, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
for such an unsuccessful show, I've really made my way around different locations. Hey, Bubba. All right, I got to do things now. Go lay down. Go lay down. Okay, all right. We are back. List Night Podcast, back in your life. My name is Griffin Queen, as always, joined by Thomas Albert, Andrew Simon, Matt Modi. I say as always, despite the fact that on the most recent episode, I was not here. So that should hopefully have been posted by now. I haven't watched it, but I'm looking forward to checking it out. This week on the podcast, we're going to be doing stuff that sucks. And then hopefully in the next week or two, we're going to follow it up with like stuff that rocks. So that this is not just like a purely negativity podcast. But our order this week is going to be me. It's going to be Modi. It's going to be Thomas. And then it's going to be Andrew. And then are we going to snake back or do we want to start back with me? Andrew, you're the one that gave us the order. So you tell me.
No snake. Just go same order again.
Okay, same order again. So I will always go at the beginning of each round. Andrew will always go at the end of each round. That feels really right to me. So I appreciate you there, Andrew. I don't know, nothing really to get into. We were talking. This is the 6th house I've been in since we've started recording this podcast. I would have really thought that we would have been a lot more successful by now.
Yeah, but you made that sound like you bought 6 houses
Nope,
in the time.
have not.
So.
Honestly, actually, only the 2nd house I think I've been in. It's been a lot of apartments. This is my first house that I'm renting. So,
Yeah.
I'm coming up in the world.
How is it? How's that Arizona heat?
It's hot. But as we all know, it's a dry heat.
Dry heat.
Yeah, stay the
Yeah.
line, Bart.
Well,
means it
all this
doesn't
but
even
Modi,
exist.
apparently.
Modi hasn't heard us say it for the past, decade or whatever it's been. Yeah, if you are tuned in on YouTube, make sure you click the like button. Make sure you subscribe if you have not done so already. We have video content. We were doing it every day. It has been less than every day. I think we're going to get back to doing it every day. So make sure you're subscribed and then comment below with stuff that you think sucks. And if you think that our lists suck, tell us. We appreciate feedback. And if you're listening to us on an audio platform, make sure you follow, make sure you rate and review and send us to your friends. And maybe by the time I make it to my 7th apartment, we will be a successful podcast. All that being said, I'm going to kick us off. This is stuff that sucks. And the first thing on my list, which is technically not my first pick, it's my 5th pick, is unskippable ads literally everywhere. And this came up today. We were talking about YouTube TV versus YouTube Red or YouTube Premium or whatever it might be called. And I was thinking about YouTube TV and just YouTube videos in general and how there's unskippable ads all the time and all the ad blockers don't work anymore because they keep figuring out their way around a lot of the ad blockers. And I thought, well, I mean, on cable, you used to have way more commercials and all that. And watching TV, you used to have a lot more commercials and all that. But you could change the channel and then come back to your video, and what you wanted to watch was still going to be ready there waiting for you. If I change a YouTube video or I leave a page that has an ad before I read an article or whatever else it might be, I have to watch that ad or read that ad or whatever it might be a second time. There's no way to avoid them at this point. Unskippable ads on an internet that is generated by ad revenue are the worst, despite the fact that there are going to be 4 things on my list that are worse than this one.
It's the worst, except for these other 4 things. Well,
Yeah.
I agree with you that unskippable ads suck, but the equivalent of changing the channel would just be do something else while the ad is running. It's like if you're watching, it's like a 15-minute YouTube ad, just scroll on your phone 15 seconds. 15 minutes would be a long ad. 15 seconds, just scroll on your phone for 15 seconds, and then you've successfully changed the channel.
Fair point.
I agree, but I hate that that's what I do because then my attention span just gets worse. I agree. And I agree with you, Griffin. It does suck. And I did see a meme that was like, I'm old enough to remember when YouTube videos only had 1 ad at the beginning. And then the next person was like, I'm old enough to remember when YouTube didn't have ads. Like, yeah, this totally sucks. I hate to say that, being that we are putting media out on the internet that we'd like to make money from, which would then take ads. But
I would give anything to put ads on and monetize this media. We haven't been able to do it yet, but one day there's going to be so many unskippable ads.
Unskippable ads definitely suck. I would argue that even skippable ads suck. And especially because like sometimes I'm like listening to something like on YouTube, whether it's a podcast or I don't know, something like longer form, and I'll have headphones in and like my phone will be like in my pocket or something like that. So it's like I can't like even if it is a skippable ad, I can't skip it unless I pull the phone out and skip it. And it's like have to touch the screen and everything. So it's those aren't as, let's be clear, those aren't as bad as unskippable ads, but they're all not great.
The worst part is because I watch YouTube on an iPad when I cook. So if my hands are dirty, I can't hit skip. And if you don't hit skip, then the next ad plays too. But if you hit skip, only the one plays. It drives me nuts.
There's kids starving and dying in third world countries, and yet this bothers me a lot. And I think it sucks.
I've also noticed that sometimes if there's a first ad that's like skippable, but you miss the chance to skip it and it goes to a second ad, sometimes that second ad will be like a full movie. It'll be like a 10-minute long ad. And
there's like some ads that I've seen that are straight up 60-minute video. And I'm like, how are you like paying to get yourself in front of people to have your 60-minute YouTube video as an ad?
Yeah,
the other thing that's terrible with some of them, I watch a lot of video essays, and this is the last thing I'll say on unskippable ads because we all feel the pain. I watch a lot of video essays, so a lot of ads come up. I might be laying on the couch at midnight, 1 a.m., putting a video essay on, might start falling asleep. They have now started doing with the YouTube ads the same thing that a lot of TV channels and radio stations do, where they increase the volume of the ad or like they play it at a different pitch than the video is played at. And so you're listening to like a calm, relaxing YouTube video, and then someone's screaming at you about like chopping up your vegetables or whatever the fuck it might be. Like it just sucks.
Sucks.
Yeah. Modai, give me yours. I want to hear what else sucks.
You know what else sucks? For my 5th pick, vacuums. That's pretty much what they're designed to do. They're designed to suck. It's pretty self-explanatory here. I don't have much else to add. I was just, quite literally, vacuums suck.
What a Thomas swerve from Modai. I love.
I don't think there's anything that needs to be said. I think you nailed it.
I wonder if this is going to be your whole list. We'll wait and see. But the only pushback I have is sometimes they don't suck. Sometimes they're not good quality and they don't suck as much as you want them to suck.
No, that's
Those
when they
vacuums suck.
do suck.
Well, then they suck.
I would argue a lot of things that suck
Then
sometimes are low quality and not as much as you want to suck. And that's not, you guys are going to assume that means something. It doesn't. Moda, I guess, just in the interest of having you talk about something to do with vacuums, if you had to pick a type of vacuum, and I don't mean a brand, but like, a hand vac or a shop vac or
Is this really the content we've succumbed to?
could
I
get
want him to pick his favorite type of vacuum. That's all I'm asking.
Or should it be least favorite? Because it sucks.
It could be least favorite. Yeah, I mean, if he hates a shop vac, that's fine too.
I admittedly, I don't know a ton about different types of vacuums. That's not where my expertise is. I will say, if we want to get a sponsorship, a vacuum, the sponsor of the show, I'm for it. I like the ones that you could kind of get in the crevices for dog hair. That's probably what I would say is my actual favorite one, because I mean, 2 dogs. I'm sure you know the life, Griffin. There's dog hair everywhere. No matter how many times you vacuum, there's dog hair there.
Yep.
This is why we don't get paid for this.
I don't think this is why. I think there's a lot of reasons why. I just don't think this is it. All right, Thomas, and what a great pick. Not a sucky
It's
pick.
a good pick. It's a good pick. My number 5. I was trying to think of a modern day equivalent for it in like our current lives, but everyone can relate to it anyway. When you have a Capri Sun and you go to put the straw in, but it goes through the back, and then you just have a hole in your Capri Sun. What a terrible design. It's awful. It's terrible. That's my number 5. It's awful. It sucks.
Yeah, during COVID, there like some bars would sell like to-go pouches and stuff. So I guess that could be like an adult equivalent of it. But no, the Capri Sun pick is fine for all ages. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, and then it's actually a double good pick, because then you try to use the straw by sucking, and it doesn't work. So you're just sucking a bunch of air. So it sucks, and then it sucks more.
Then you're just breathing.
Yeah,
Through a straw,
With tough look for you.
which sucks.
I don't know the last time I had a Capri Sun. However, I have been encountering a lot recently, particularly at AMC movie theaters. So my beef is with AMC movie theaters. Straws that you get and you pull out of the packaging, and you can take them out delicately, and they are already broken on the inside. You don't notice it until you sit down in your seat. And it's usually broken at like a completely inconvenient location on it. Like, it's not like near the bottom, so you can still bring in liquid from like halfway. It's like broken near like the top or something. So you can never get any liquid. Movie's already started, and now if you want to drink your drink, you either have to leave the theater or you have to take the top off and do it, which I did recently, and results were not great. There was a lot of ice in there, and I was a very sticky boy.
Question. If you're saying it'd be fine if it was at the bottom and your holes are always at the top, can't you just flip the straw over? And
No, because
it's always like a third. It's always like
it's
the
in
third
an
quarter of
inconvenient. I don't mean like right near the top. I mean like at
Yeah.
a place where no matter what, you're not able to pull liquid.
I was with you until you didn't say the holes in the middle, because that's what I thought you were going to say. But then you said at the top, I was like, just flip the straw over. But no, I know what you mean.
It'll adjacent.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
if it was my face, it would be like eye line. So you flip it over and you're still not able to pull anything.
Yeah, while we're talking about straws, I get what we're trying to do with the environment, but the paper straws, we need a better way to make paper straws, because they just disintegrate in your drink if you don't immediately chug it.
It's just virtue signaling shit. Like, I feel like I'm one of the bigger environmental guys in our group of friends and in my social circle. It does nothing. It really doesn't. You're spending almost the same amount of resources to create paper straws. And if you're going through them constantly, yes, they're recyclable. Yes, they disintegrate. Yes, they're biodegradable. But it's the process of making straws that makes them so bad for the environment. So you're not solving that problem. Everyone should just get a metal straw. That's my take.
Yeah.
I don't really like straws in general unless they're a Capri Sun. So
Well, Fox News guys will tell you that if you use straws, you are a gay man who sucks penis. So
I guess I'm not.
team straw.
Things that suck.
Guess
Thing leads
I'm
to another.
straight as hell.
Okay, so my
Things
number
that
5
suck,
pick
Fox
is
News.
it's kind of similar to Griffin's actually, but it's flipping between streaming services. I miss the good old days of just being able to flip the channel like super easily. And I know people will come at me with like, get YouTube TV, get whatever with live TV. I don't have any of that shit, so I'm looking through Netflix, or I'm like watching something on Hulu, and then I also want to check in on a game that's on fucking Paramount Plus or something. And it's like I have this like Fire TV that's like has a slow user interface, so it's basically like resetting the whole TV every time I want to change the app. And it's just like, it definitely makes me miss the good old days of like, I'm just gonna flip the channel.
Well, here's the problem with the fake rebuttal that you gave yourself of just get cable. If I want to watch something on Netflix, that doesn't help if I have cable. It doesn't help if I have YouTube TV. I still got to go to Netflix to watch whatever that is. So I would love to be able to solve that. I feel like we've created a worse problem with all these streaming services trying to solve the problem of not needing cable. It's like we've created a worse enemy.
And I feel like we've backtracked because all the live TV streaming services have worse interfaces than like cable ever had. Like YouTube TV, when I open up the guide to channel surf, there's no picture. Like there's no picture in picture. And then there's just it infuriates me that it doesn't work like DirecTV used to work. Like the system was already there. Why is this new thing we're using, which is really just the old thing we use, different?
When you design everything to work like a really, really bare bones computer setup, you completely ignore that we already had a TV setup that worked for decades and decades, and things like a button that did picture in picture, or like that took you to preset channels, or whatever else it might have been, already existed and has existed for the longest time. Yeah, this is a good one. Having to basically reset your journey every single time. Like, yeah, does it take a lot of time? No. But when you're sitting there just trying to relax and you're trying to do like your version of channel surfing, it's why there's so much more like decision paralysis about what to watch, I think. Because every time you're trying to pick what to watch, you're like, okay, I'm on this app. Didn't find something here. I'm going to go to this app. And then you end up watching the same thing you would always watch because you don't want to go through the whole process rather than just channel.
Yeah. And obviously each of the like apps are different companies that have a like vested interest in keeping you on their app. So it's like you go down the road of like going deep into each of the apps, but then if you want to switch back and forth, it's like I don't know, it just adds time and annoyance to the process. And we feel like boomers in this episode, but you know what? I don't care. We're old now.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing with a lot of these. A lot of these things are things that suck about things that are actually really fucking great. But the things that suck just like they just eat away at how great they are. Like streaming services are awesome, but all the little annoyances of them suck. Being able to watch YouTube videos all the time and like have just an infinite amount of content, really, really cool. Having every single second of it monetized, the worst.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. Griffin, on your number 4.
All right, yeah, my
Gotta
number
skip
4.
that ad.
Say again.
No.
Oh, okay. My number 4, and I'm gonna get ahead of this one really quickly with Modi. Modi, you do not have to participate in this one if you do not want to. It may come across as a personal attack. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, I know what this
The
is.
inescapable rise of sports betting apps and the extent to which sports betting has truly taken over every single aspect of sports. I'm cool with sports betting. Like I'm generally fine with it. I think we have no guardrails for it anymore. And the way that we talk about sports has been so heavily inundated by how easy it is to bet on sports. And like we've appified everything. So why not appify sports betting? That one of my favorite things being sports is now so much less fun for me because every time I try and talk about it, I hear about dogs versus favorites in a very mathematical way. I hear about parlays. I hear about prop bets. I hear about players getting death threats sent to them because their parlay didn't hit or whatever else it might be. It just feels like we went from enjoying sports for sports to enjoying sports for the amount of money that they can make everybody, not just the athletes and the broadcasters and everything else. Now it's like we're all going to make money on sports. And I think we all kind of know that unless you're a professional like Modi or really lucky or, you know, someone who does this for a living, odds are you're not going to make money on this.
I mostly agree because I think I bet in a limited stance and usually only for like big games, but like I enjoy it the same way. Like I will watch sports alone. I enjoy watching sports more with people. Same thing with sports betting. Like I enjoy doing it with other people. And like when it was first like becoming accessible, it was like fun to make parlays with your buddies.
It was sick.
And like it's still there's times where like I enjoy what it's become, but then like I didn't like ESPN before, but like now that you're right, it's the way sports are talked about now. Like there's no other option but to talk about the betting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like sports betting is like what happened to social media, where it was like cool at first when it was kind of innocent, and then everything just turned really crappy. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's thankfully I'm able to talk about sports for a living, but I think it like for me, it all started with like I thought I was good at like predicting stuff. Like, oh, I think this team's going to win, or I think this player's going to play well. Like, this is my avenue for seeing if I'm right about that, and I enjoy like talking about it. I don't enjoy talking about like, oh, I'm going to get you rich, or what's kind of happened to the sports betting industry. It's more so like, hey, like, I think this is fun, and it's like the group aspect of it, kind of like you said. It's like, I think this is a good pick. I'm giving it out there, and let's ride together and like have fun or commiserate if it loses.
And you've got a community, and like there's a lot. Like I see a lot of people that are super positive in your community and all that stuff. And like that's why this is not every aspect of sports betting. I also sports bet. I mean, Thomas and I are in an annual golf pool together that we spend a good amount of money on. It's how inescapable it is. And it's also like the people that clearly don't have the self-control just generally, and who do things like, spend their rent money or send death threats or anything else. And that exists everywhere. Sure.
I say, like, those are the same people that weren't good with their money beforehand. And I don't know what kind of safeguards you can have on it, but like you said, at this point, there aren't any safeguards.
I think we could talk about this any other time. I think we should probably treat it like cigarettes and not have TV advertisements for it. But I also think that we can't unfuck that at this point.
Yeah, we've talked about this, but it's also like the hypocrisy of all the leagues of how anti-betting they were for decades, and then it's just all of a sudden money talks. But that's just how it goes.
Walks.
It also feels a little bit like with the just how in your face it is all the time. Like literally at every break of a football game, like the first ad is for FanDuel or DraftKings or something. It feels like, there's that kid in like elementary school who's like wanted to bet on everything. You'd be like, I could eat this sandwich, and be like, you want to bet? Like, you want to bet? You want to bet? It's like, okay, or we could just like live our lives and like watch this.
We could just watch the game, guys. We could just enjoy this game.
Andrew, you sound
just watch the national anthem, but no, let's bet on that too.
You sound like someone who loses a lot of bets about eating sandwiches. That's all I'm saying. That's what you sound like.
Coin flip bet guy,
like.
Actually. Renowned Super Bowl Squares guy, actually, Andrew Simon, #1 Super Bowl Squares guy that I know.
I do it for people.
That's it. That's my thing on sports betting. We can keep it moving.
Griffin, want to shit on Griffin's career in life now, or?
You know what I hate? People who try and stop people from being sexual harassers.
You know what I hate? No. So stuff that sucks. My fourth pick is very similar to my fifth pick. And Griffin's not going to understand it, but I think Thomas and Andrew will. It's the David Wallace invention, Suck It, from The Office, which is like a vacuum but for toys. You take out your Suck It and you suck it. That's how it works. I ended up making David Wallace incredibly rich. So I don't know if that toy exists in real life, but the Suck It from The Office does in fact suck.
I wish my prediction paper had on it. All Modi's will be version of vacuums. Wouldn't have thought of it, but I don't think I can say good pick, but clever pick.
I am hoping that Luigi from Luigi's Mansion is one of your picks, but
I should have thought of that.
I mean, thank you for that description of what Suck It is. I love that episode, but I didn't really grasp what the actual product was. And I think that was kind of the joke on David Wallace's that was he successful from selling it, or was
the
it
U.S. military bought it, I think, for like landmines or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this? I'm sorry. Can I ask a clarifying question?
The Office.
It's
I
The
understand that it's. Yeah. David Wallace is like the big boss.
He was the CEO. He got fired.
Guy with glasses.
Yeah.
Kind of like solid build.
Name.
Yeah, he's in an episode of Always Sunny, if I remember. He's in Charge of Dennis.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes.
Okay, I'm generally picking up who you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm at least 10% of the way there.
He invented a vacuum for sucking up your kids' toys because he hated picking up after his son.
Yeah.
It's a vacuum.
Sure.
It's a
vacuum for toys.
I'm just dying to see what other vacuums are on your list. I can't wait.
I will say this is actually the last vacuum specific. I try to be a little bit clever and not make it just like gripes. But this is the last vacuum specific one of mine.
Hey, Thomas did a whole list of hot dogs, so
one of his best lists. Undoubtedly one of the best lists he's ever had.
My number 4, twofold. It only sucks for me in one way, but it sucks for other people in another. That's because if you get too close to it, will suck your someone's FaceTiming me. It will suck your intestines out through your bottom. And that is the drain at the bottom of a pool. It sucks water in, but also it can suck if you get caught on it.
You're the Mac of our friend group. Like it's I used to have doubts. I don't have doubts anymore.
I think one of the Final Destinations also ruined this thing for many people. So it sucks.
So this is a drain, which
I looked it up. They large pools do have a suction on them.
to speed up the draining process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because when it's working filtration system, it has to suck it in.
Got it.
Learning so much.
It sucks. The only other thing I have to comment on that is we played a lot of sharks and minnows as a kid at Flower Hill, and we would touch those things because they would either be base or safe or whatever.
Yeah.
So I have some good memories with those things. Maybe they don't suck.
Yeah, how big of a pool are we talking for them to have like a sucking thing? Because we used to sharks and minnows or beaver or whatever else, and people definitely used to sit on that jump.
I think and it would suck. You could feel it. Any pool that has like a filtration system, because a drain only works like gravity equilibrium. So like that drain isn't going out to nothing unless you open the valve. So when that valve's closed, like it's working the filtration system.
So is it actually? Are there some strong enough actually to like pull out your intestines?
No.
Okay.
That is very much a myth.
From Final Destination.
Yeah. And
Always Sunny.
And Always Sunny.
Final Destination did do it first.
And Ronald McDonald's childhood. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Pick.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, look, you and Modi are. I expected you to go in this direction, Thomas. You and Modi are more aligned than I had predicted.
I feel like we find that out like every other episode.
It's that fly eagles fly in you guys. You're just fucking stupid.
When it's not like anime-based picks, I feel like we align most of the time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, my number 4 is just a traditional, I think everyone would agree this just sucks. Stepping in gum. Just a classic. This happened to me at the airport the other day, and it sucked. It sucked a lot. It's like there's just no good options. Like either it gets like deep in there and it's like there for days and weeks, or you are able to get it off, but you still have to like touch the gum or like use a paper towel to get the gum off. Either way, it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't happened to me in a long time, but you're like, I feel like the third option is that it barely gets stuck and you step out of it, but then you know the gum's there, so then you're a piece of shit if you don't do something about it because you already loosened it. Yeah, it's a sucky situation.
You also feel like your shoe is like a little bit sticky after that, even if it didn't stick to your shoe. Like it feels like you're like very slightly dragging on the ground afterwards, and that's kind of like leaving a movie theater. It's a bad feeling.
Yeah, unless the movie
For
sucked.
Bentley's in College Park.
Yeah. What were you saying, Modi?
I said unless the movie sucked.
Yeah, unless the movie, which the movie could also suck. You know, I'm not gonna one up you, Andrew, but I'm gonna follow up your point on this one to stay with yours about gum. Have you ever had tar stuck on the bottom of your foot?
It's just an elevated version of gum, Andrew. You can imagine it.
It's bad. I used to think getting stuck in gum bad. Not getting stuck in gum. I'm not trapped.
What kind of
like
gum you getting stuck in?
I used to think having gum on the bottom of like your shoe was a bad thing, and then I got tar stuck on my flip flops or my towels or my shoes. The worst. Truly, like I've thrown away towels.
Yeah, I would imagine you'd have to just get rid of it. I don't know about tar, but maybe like when a road is like repaved and there's like some of that sort of like spills onto the sidewalk or something, and it's like still a little like damp, maybe like just just microscopic amounts of it. But I could see tar sucking.
Hermosa Beach. It's good that you never had to experience it, but the beach has tar deposits underneath the sand, and so certain times of the year you will go out there and you will come back with tar all over your shit.
Sounds great.
It's not. It sucks. I would argue.
Is that your number 3?
Yeah, it's not my number 3. I don't live there anymore, so I don't have to bring that one up. Although
That's fair.
I miss it already. My number 3. I'm not going to talk about this one a lot. I'll just leave it up to you if you guys have takes. Phone recordings of concerts and events. They suck. The people doing them suck. The recordings themselves suck. Why do you do that?
The only argument is to like it's like taking a picture. Like you can obviously remember something, but you want to look at it to like kind of make the memory fresh in your head. So when you're watching a recording of something, you're like, oh, I remember that. That was a good time. But yeah, it doesn't come out well. And then you're the person out there with their phone out while you're at a concert. It's like, hey, how about you just enjoy the moment instead of capturing them, like taking a video of the moment.
Poorly capturing. And like, look,
Yeah.
I get it. You take a 10-second video, fine, cool, whatever. You remember it. You're at a concert and you film 13 sequential songs from start to finish, and you send them to people, and then like, you're gonna watch this again? What? Listen to an album.
I think for some people, I don't take pictures or video often unless I'm told to, or like unless it's something specific.
Our group of guy friends is actually genuinely terrible at it.
Yeah,
We have
but
so
I
few
just-
records of our friendship.
I think part of it is like people just need something to do with their hands. Like I feel like that's sometimes it.
That's why I
don't
drink.
get it, especially going back to like all the streaming services. Like every event you're at nowadays has someone there to record it. You don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Griffin, if it's like a picture or like up to 10 seconds of like a Instagram story or whatever, like I'm still gonna skip through it, but at least I only have to skip through one. But and I think our like generation has gotten better about it, but I think like 10, 15 years ago, half the shit on Snapchat, I like it'd be people at a concert and you would just like be clicking through stories and it would just you'd have to like tap through 20 to get because they recorded 10 minutes of this concert and it's in the worst sound quality and the worst like video quality back then. It was all terrible. It all sucked.
If you open someone's Instagram story or Snap story and all the little like bars at the top are like tiny little slivers, I'm just going to the next person. I'm not whatever you posted. I'm sorry, it's not that interesting.
This isn't my third pick, but to piggyback off that, people that live their lives for social media suck. Like,
This is the second time you brought up social media, Modai, and I'm gonna give you a little hint. It's gonna come up later on mine too.
Okay, fair enough. Then I don't need to go any more in detail on it.
Yeah.
All right, my third pick is some people would argue social media gone right, but it's not only that. Porn stars, part of the job description, male, female.
Jesus Christ. I
got-
forgot what the list was. Okay, all right. Yeah.
You got to suck. I mean, it just is what it is. I don't, no judgment. I respect anybody that's trying to make money off of themselves. I respect all content creators, anybody that's got to hustle, but porn stars suck.
Rank your top 5.
Well, I don't have it off the top of my head, but we'll do that on a different list because I obviously do have it off the top of my head.
I just want you to keep ranking the things that you have to suck. I want you to rank vacuums. I want you to rank porn stars. That's the list. I don't know why I treated it like it was a long list of things, but yeah, look, this is accurate. You could argue that they're probably the best at what they do at it. Like they're the Olympians of sucking.
That's true.
Not enough people give them that credit.
I don't know if Tom's froze or if he wants me to go next on this one.
No, he looks like he's sick of my bullshit.
Yeah, this is another factual one, and God bless him for it. I'm not here to judge anyone or be upset. The only thing I am upset at right now is the fact that I hold a microphone like this when commenting on this pick.
It's like
adult film stars. I just feel
Adult
like
film stars. Yeah.
no, that's fair.
yeah,
Independent actors and actresses.
Yes.
Also actors.
Yeah.
you know.
We don't discriminate. You're right.
We
you're
don't
right,
discriminate.
No.
All right.
I mean,
Hell yeah, Modai. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like for a lot of the life of List Night, like I was the gooner and I was the one with just the broken brain picks. And really, in a lot of ways, whether it's you having IBS or talking about your masturbation habits or picking porn stars for things that suck, I'm going to get emotional. I'm going to well up. It feels like the torch has been passed.
What was the masturbation one we talked about a while ago? Was it like a monkey paw or something?
Excuses to get out of plans.
It was excuses to get out of plans. And he said, I have to masturbate. And we were like, you tell people that? And he was like, yeah, I told my cousin that.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what happened. I wanted to
I
masturbate.
listened to the episode. I remember that.
I know we've already talked about that in that whole episode. Go check it out, fans. But like I'm sorry, again, it's just how long does that take in order to get out of plan? It's fine.
Look,
all right, we're moving on.
Yeah, no, great. Modai also an Olympian of the masturbatory arts. Give him his credit.
My number 3. This one kind of relates to the unskippable ads and somehow also straws. I used to love movie trailers. I now hate movie trailers, 1, because they're too long and show too much, and 2, because if I go to a movie that starts at 7 and I get there at 6:50 and I go get whatever I need and I sit down and it's 7 o'clock and then I have to wait 25 to 30 minutes for the movie to start because of trailers, I fucking hate it. It sucks. That's it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I actually, if it's something that I'm really excited about, I will purposefully avoid the trailer. Like Endgame, didn't watch the trailer. New Stranger Things TV show, didn't watch the trailer. Like anything that I'm legitimately excited about watching, I will purposefully not watch the trailer. I will say the nice part about the movie theater having 25 minutes of commercials is you can, if you're running late, you're like, because I plan to get there at the time the movie starts, to be clear.
I don't run late.
Well, no, I also don't. I should say, when me and my wife and I have plans, and she's
There
never been on
it
time
is.
to anything in her
There it is.
entire
We
life.
all knew what you were thinking.
When we run late, when she runs late, and I'm sitting there trying not to get mad at her, at least you have a 25-minute buffer before the movie actually starts.
I get that mindset because you're right, and Aaron's the same way. Like, our on times are different, but it just like in general, if you tell me we're starting at a time in a movie, I buy a ticket for 7 o'clock, and I look at my watch and it's 7:30 when the opening credits start. You're a piece of shit, and I want my money back.
Yeah, that sucks.
I don't really hate movie trailers. I'll be honest. I see
You know
what you're
what, Andrew?
saying.
Fuck you.
I think I agree with you that they're too in
Things
depth
that
now,
suck, Andrew.
and they give away too much. But I will say, what does suck is the time thing, especially if you buy snacks in a movie theater. They're gonna be gone before the third trailer, and
Yeah.
that's on me. But I'm not gonna change. It's like, yeah, you almost have time to like eat everything, go back, get more, and then still the movie hasn't started. But then you spent like $100.
It's the fattest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, I like a teaser. I enjoy a nice 45-second to a minute teaser. I am largely out on trailers, both for movies because they spoil way too much, because I guess they've learned that maybe it's an American audience thing, maybe it's audiences everywhere. Like, they need to see the entire movie to decide whether or not they want to see the movie. I hate that. I don't want to know what's going to happen in the movie. But also like video game trailers, which you probably watch a lot less of, but like they're also like they never end up actually being representative of the experience. So they kind of suck too, because it's just like, here's something to get you really hyped up, and it's not going to look like this, and it's not going to come out for 6 years. The Superman trailer that came out recently, everybody was like talking about it on every piece of social media, and people kept hitting me up being like, Griffin, you're going to love this trailer. Like, it hits on all this stuff. And I'm like, stop. Like, I'm deliberately avoiding trailers for the movie that I'm the most excited for this year. Please don't tell me what happens in it, because then I'm gonna get caught in like theorizing about. I just want to see the movie. I just want to see the movie.
And see, I wish I was more like you and Modi. Like, I still watch movie trailers like on YouTube. Like, I still want to see them, and like, obviously not do anything about Superman, but like, the trailers make like I'm so excited for it, but it makes me worried about it because it does show like whatever. Yeah, I just think teasers, like you said, like short, get me excited, but don't like I keep shit.
I watched the trailer for the new Ari Aster movie with I'm gonna blank on their names. The guy who played Joker and Mandalorian.
Joaquin
Phoenix.
Phoenix and
the Big Bold Journey, right? Big Bold Journey.
I thought it was called like Eddington or something.
Different movie. Yeah, Eddington. Also good.
Yeah, I watched the trailer for it, and I should have stopped 30 seconds in once I got the idea of it, but it was like a really engrossing, really well done trailer. And by the end of it, I was like, okay, this looks like it's going to be an incredible movie, and I now know 80 minutes of the plot lines. Like,
yeah,
why did I do that to myself? Part of it is just our inability to turn it off. But yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
Real quick before we move on, Griffin, you mentioned video games. Expedition 33, 10 out of 10. That's all I have. That's all I want to say.
On the list. Putting the TV up later today. Once the TV's up, I think we're gonna maybe play some video games this weekend. I'm gonna start playing some video games again now that I've got an office. Big hype about the new house is finally having an office for the first time in my life. Yeah, it's on the list. I can't wait to play it. And I did avoid a lot of media about it, and I've avoided a lot of the discussion about it because people keep talking about how it's like their favorite game of the year or their favorite game of the decade. And I don't want to know anything about. I watched the initial 60-second trailer, and that's all I've touched with.
Yeah, that's all you want to know, because like the story you don't want to have spoiled. But I'd be surprised if it wasn't one of the best games you've played, especially recently. Anyways, that's all I had to say.
All right, it's Andrew. You're number 3.
Yeah, my number 3 is And there's there's a time and a place for winter, but my number 3 is when it gets dark at 4 p.m. And I know there's no real way to fix this other than me moving to the southern hemisphere for half a year. But so maybe I'll do that. But it just sucks. It just everything about it to me sucks. I am a fan of like 9 p.m. sunsets, but I can do 7. That's fine. 4 p.m., even 5 p.m. just sucks.
Yeah, it's a good one, I guess. It's just incredibly on brand, and all I'm gonna say, it's incredibly on brand that you picked something that had to do with like time zones.
I didn't even
Or
mention daylight savings time.
yeah, I
I didn't
know,
even
but we
mention
You
all
were
it.
clearly
know.
ready to.
We
I didn't.
all
You
know
were
you're
clearly
thinking of
ready
it,
to.
and it does impact what you're talking about. You've just found your lane, man. If you ever run for office, it's gonna be exclusively around time zones and daylight savings.
Yes, I could talk about daylight savings time for an hour. That's not what's gonna happen.
We
though.
know you have.
This is more about like just the length of the day being too short in the winter. Like I said, it just has to do with the latitude that upon which I live.
I talked to somebody during a work meeting about it today because they were asking me about Arizona time zones, and Arizona doesn't have daylight savings. So we got to talking about it, and we were talking about like, man, the winter's gonna suck for them because it's gonna be cold and shitty and dark, and for me, it's gonna be great because it'll be cool enough where I can walk my dogs during the day.
If you're worried about the length of the day, just stay up. You can do things in the dark.
We also invented light, like we have light bulbs.
Yeah, but the
God,
sun's
dude.
better.
Sun's better.
Shut up, Thomas. Shut up, Thomas.
There are positives and negatives to the early dark, in my opinion. Obviously, it gets old after a long time, and it does limit the things you want to or can do.
Early Dark sounds like a post-apocalyptic novel that's like not actually that post-apocalyptic.
Who told you about what I'm working on?
I think you just did.
Yeah, I on brand pick. I can't say it doesn't suck. Sometimes it's okay.
Everyone's hitting their brands today. This is great.
I thought that was like our Patreon / OnlyFans content. List night, early dark.
It's the preamble.
The preamble is arguably the best part of these episodes, and we very rarely give it to the people.
Well, they don't subscribe.
All right, my number 2, weirdly enough, keeping with seasons and everything else, no summer vacation for the vast majority of careers. After you are done with college, you never get a summer vacation again, I guess, presumably until you retire. And summer vacation's like kind of the best part of growing up. And I miss it like a lot. Not having it sucks.
Yeah, I'll never forget when I graduated from college and first started working. My dad was like, "Well, don't worry, you can retire in 40 years. That's what you have to look forward to. Like that's the next time you enjoy your life is 40 years and you get to retire."
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, literally.
What a beacon of positivity.
There's it sucks not having it, and this should be on your stuff that rocks episode whenever we do that one. It's just actual summer, because there was no better feeling than the last day of school, and I feel like we've talked about this because we've talked about everything at this point on List Night, but like no better feeling than just knowing you don't have to go back for what seemed like forever. It would go by quick, but seemed like a long time.
It was like 100 days or like 90 days or something like that.
I think at one point in our lives there was like 90 days.
It was like
Was
half
the-
of June. Yeah, I guess it would probably closer to like 80 days or whatever after they
I-
started moving things
I
closer.
think when we were young, it was like 90, and then I don't think it's 90 anymore.
You could have told me at the start of summer that I had 6 years of time off, like waiting for me. And then with each like passing week, you start mentally doing like counting it down in your head.
You're like,
But
"Shit."
it just felt so good. I miss it so much.
And like as someone in a career where summer is my busiest time, like I also think this goes on to like when you're younger, vacations, even when they end, like your life is not at like when you come back from vacation now and like you get back to work, it's like nothing is different. Like you're behind, things are worse. But like when you went back to school from vacation, it wasn't like things were automatically worse. You just were back at school.
Right.
So like
Yeah, you had to see your
Vacation in
friends that you didn't
general.
see during the summer, and you had new outfits and like you had new teachers, like things like even if you didn't like school, stuff was still like pretty cool. Like summer was this really, really fun thing where afterwards it was still fun things. And now it's like summer is like, oh, it's really nice outside, but I'm gonna work. And then at the end of this, I'm going to work more. And then when I wake up tomorrow, I might work.
You get to work.
Good point, Thomas. Your point is a really good one, and I almost want to add vacation to my this stuff that sucks list now because
Right.
you're right. You come back feeling worse
My
and feeling like you're behind, and it's not like when you're a kid.
I'm not skipping Modi, but my number 2 is my feelings right now because now I'm sad. So thank you, Griffin.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right, Modi, all you.
All right. This one's actually serious, unlike the joking vacuum and porn star stuff that I talked about previously. What sucks is the company Game Freak. What they have done to my sweet, sweet Pokemon over the years of my childhood into adulthood really, really grinds my gears. I mean, it's one of those things where like they're just so incapable of making a good game since I've been like, I don't know, a freshman in high school. I mean, they really just suck. And then you watch, and I get like Game Freak is obviously different than Nintendo, but then you watch Nintendo make Breath of the Wild, which is one of the greatest games of all time. Well, it's like just do that with Pokemon, please. Just do that with Pokemon.
Let's do that.
Yeah, like I know you're capable of doing this, and apparently, Game Freak just released like a trailer or gameplay of a new game that looks incredible. I don't really know the details of the game, but people are just like, so you can do it. You just know that Pokemon's going to make money, so you're like, well, we'll just make a shitty one that people are going to buy. So like, why would we care about making a good game? I will buy it and I will play it, and then I will be mad at how much the game sucks. So I'm one of those people. But yeah, Game Freak sucks.
I am not in tuned as you are. I totally understand though, because Pokemon is such an established thing, and it's like, why can't you make what people actually want? And it's because no matter what they make, people will pay for it. My main thing I want to say before Andrew goes is I knew Pokemon was going to be on here. I thought it was going to be a sucking Pokemon.
I thought it was going to be Jinx. I thought it was going to be Jinx.
I did not have you bringing up a game company for Pokemon purposes.
Is there a
You were
sucking
close.
Pokemon? There's Lickitung.
Jinx.
Yeah.
Well, Jinx, yeah.
And also maybe Mr. Mime.
I feel like there's
Yeah.
something.
If I get to him, I'm a choke.
All right. So I don't have much knowledge on or any knowledge on new Pokemon, but this is like actually one of my honorable mentions was newer SpongeBob, and the same could be said of like newer Simpsons or newer Family Guy. Like these franchises, both in TV, movies, and in video games, that become so popular at the onset that they get fucking lazy with their development, and they just like they never let it. I'm not saying I want to let Pokemon die, but they never either let it die or keep the quality up. Like they always fall off, and it's
Can I
just
say
like
something on that
so
real quick?
frustrating.
This sounds like these complaints, particularly like the ones that you just mentioned, sound like we've just aged out of these things and we just have like nostalgia for them. But they genuinely have gotten worse. And it's not like just like if you were born in the early 90s and you feel this way because you grew up with these things, they're not as good anymore. Like kids today don't think they're as good. They can see, they have an ability to recognize critical quality. And they're like, why did people ever get so into this? A lot of the people that buy Pokemon stuff are grown ass adults because of the nostalgia, forgive how much a lot of it sucks. And kids don't do that. They're not going to consume Pokemon stuff if it's bad all the time. And they don't understand why we ever did. But at one point, it did kick ass.
Yeah.
Game Freak sucks.
Game Freak
sucks.
does suck. And that's why I haven't bought a Pokemon game in 12 years, 10 years.
There goes that sponsorship.
We've
I'm
given them
gonna
enough.
blame Game Freak for not buying a Pokemon game either, even though I don't own the hardware possible to play the games.
Yeah,
but that's
me
fine.
too.
That's fine.
It's because of Game Freak.
Yeah, fuck
It's
Game Freak.
because of Game Freak.
I stand with Matt. My number 2 is kind of goes with Modi. It is a vacuum. In this case, this vacuum actually rocks, but the action of it is a sucking motion. And that is the vacuum tubes at bank drive-thrus, where you got to put in the container. And so it physically sucks, but it actually rocks. So it's kind of a hard one there.
Is there any kid that didn't think that was the coolest fucking thing growing up when they'd go to the bank with their
Is there
parents?
any adult that doesn't
Losers.
think that's the coolest
Yes,
thing?
that's true. Yeah.
I've always thought that like we're living in the year 3000. Like, why doesn't everything get delivered this way? Why do banks, the most
I'm pretty
boring
sure Willy Wonka
establishment?
made it seem like it was, in fact, the future of technology. I think it's Willy Wonka. Well, some movie from that era made it seem like that's what everything was going to be. And I'm so disappointed that we don't just transport things by vacuum seal.
Like Futurama.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went to New York one time and we were getting
Sick.
Sick.
there was like these like last minute like tickets to some show, some
Wet
Broadway
heat.
show, and we had to like go to the office or whatever to pick them up. And like the show started in like 15 minutes, and we got there and like checked in, and we're just like waiting for, and they're like the tickets will be like processed soon. And they came down in one of those things, and I was like, where does that tube like leave? Is it from the other side of the city? Is it like from where does it go? Truly incredible technology. It's the only other time I've seen it other than Banks. And you can tell I'm pretty hype about this. This one rocks, so it doesn't suck.
It feels like New York should be made entirely of vacuum tube.
Well, I do believe, and there's evidence of this in the movie Elf, large building, like office buildings, use them for mail purposes, like delivering mail to different floors.
Remember that episode
There's
of-
also evidence in our favorite show, Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That's exactly what I was going to say. One of the best
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah. God,
Yeah.
what can't they teach us?
It sucks, but it rocks.
It's true.
Good one.
That was a
Yeah,
good one.
that's a good pick. I don't think I've ever thought about how excited I am by that technology, very basic technology, as an adult. You brought
Okay,
some
you
joy
build
to
you
me.
build one then, Griffin. You build one.
You're right. That's
Probably
fair.
could. Just need to suck it.
Who's up?
You are.
You are.
And yeah, Andrew.
Oh, it's me.
So
Cool,
awkward.
cool.
Idiot.
All right. My number 2 is it's the sound of either calls or pings on any work application. Microsoft Teams, Slack, Outlook. I don't know if Outlook makes noises. Mine doesn't, but you know
It
what I
does.
mean. When you get that call, or like you're in the other room and you hear that ping sound of any of these services, fuck them. Some people feel this way about just like regular ass phone calls, like to an iPhone ringtone or whatever, or Android ringtone. I'm not so much I don't have as big an issue with that, but just the work related ones, it's hair curling. It's not great sound.
I'm actually going to speak on this from someone who has to listen to someone else's. Because when Erin, like, she doesn't usually have her volume on, but when she's getting pinged and it's the volume's on, and like, yeah, we're downstairs or something, and I'm like, I don't know how you do it all day. I could not. I don't. I shut all my sounds off because my work is different importance in terms of people getting in touch with me. This is a good pick.
I think being a consultant is just one series of notifications forever until you retire.
The flip side of that, stuff that rocks is when you hear that notification and you're like, God damn it, what is this? And then you realize it's nothing that you have to do. And then you're like, oh, thank God. Just the best feeling.
Just a waste of time.
Yeah. Your stomach falls out for a second and then you're like, oh no, I don't have to do this.
Wasn't
This
for
is
me.
fine.
Thank God.
Is this
Yeah.
like in a group chat where they're like asking someone else to do something, or do you get a lot of messages that say, "Hey, Matt, just letting you know you don't have to do anything"?
Well, if you're in like an email blast or something,
Yeah.
and you just you hear the email, or like like a group, like a group chat at work or something like that.
I do have a lot of like work Teams chats that I'm part of because of like the part of the company that I'm part of. But sometimes it'll have nothing to do with me, and it's just like, we're just letting Griffin know so that he's like aware of things. I'm like, yeah, just mute.
God.
I don't want to know.
I'll skim the entire thing after all of this is done.
Just like me with group chats.
Yeah, I mean that hurts as someone who's in multiple group chats with you, but yeah, you know, it's not untrue. You'd like to pop in and pop out. Okay, number ones. I think we're at the number ones. Yeah, all right. My number one, Amodai, like I mentioned, because you brought it up a couple different times as something that sucks. Social media. And if you guys revisited our pet peeves list from 3 years ago, I did. My number one for that was people who overshare on social media. And that remains a pet peeve. But really, in the 3 years since that list, I've come to the conclusion that social media generally is just awful. And it was a mistake, and it sucks, and it's bad, and I hate it. And I wish I wasn't on it, but I very much am on it. So in a lot of ways, I also suck for, contributing to it. But I'm going to blame social media. Social media sucks.
Yeah, social media sucks. As someone that brought it up twice in this episode, I could not agree more. And like even with like even with like Instagram and stuff, with like your friends, they're like people that have new babies or get new dogs. Yeah, that's exciting. I get it. I don't need to see 30 minutes of your baby or your dog after the first week of you having them. Like, I get it. You have a dog. That's awesome. I have 2 dogs. I love my dogs. I don't have to post about them every second. And it's like people that, and I said this before, like live their lives for social media. It's like, are you that not interesting of a person, or your life is that so uninteresting that you have to post everything that you do as like some sort of like, I don't know, like self worth type thing. I don't know. I don't even look at like stories on Instagram and stuff anymore because there's like 5 people whose lives I actually care about. And then I'm not sifting through all the different people that post stories to go to the 5 people that I actually care about. And I don't care enough to make like close friends. So I just don't even use it anymore.
I
Yeah,
think,
what happened to just keeping things close to your chest?
well, I think there should be a limit on how many people you can follow. I think you should have a follow limit. And I think then you got to make some decisions and you don't have to, like, you can't follow people that don't matter. You can't follow things that you don't want to see. Like, I agree fully. As someone who doom scrolls but doesn't actually do anything on social media, I'd be better off without it at all.
You want the MySpace top 8, but you don't want to go beyond the top 8.
Never had a MySpace, so I don't know what you're talking about.
That'd be great. That would never exist because it'd be impossible to monetize because no one's going to be like, yeah, I want 7 of my friends. And then like,
My mom.
I don't know, George Clooney. I don't know. I don't think George Clooney's a big social media guy. I'm just trying to think of somebody. How would you monetize it? Which is, again, also part of the problem is that we've so heavily monetized social media that it's not really like social anymore. It's just another way to feed us, to circle back to unskippable ads, to feed us ads.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good pick. It sucks. And you're right. The change in 3 years, it's gotten so much just worse. On the pet peeves list that we did, I had a post on LinkedIn as one of mine
Oh my
because
gosh.
it's just the cringiest form of social media and just like, well, I say at least 3 years ago it was. Now it's like everything on all social media is either stuff like that, people just fake bragging or fake, talking about how cool or great their life is, or just straight up neo-Nazis. It's one of the two on social media most of the time. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. It really does suck. And I think back, I don't know, there was like a Bo Burnham interview a while ago where he talked about this and like how like these social media companies are coming for literally every second of your life. Like they already, corporations have always tried to come for every like, dollar that you made and get it spent on them. But now they come for literally every second of your life. And if you're not on it for every second, they're not satisfied. And it's
And
just,
if we legislate for any of it, it's always 5 years behind or 10 years behind, and they've already evolved past that. Like they're not even legislating for something that exists anymore.
And it works because even when if the ads are unskippable, to Modai's point, then you're looking at your phone for those 15 seconds.
Yeah. Andrew, gun to your head, posts by neo-Nazis or LinkedIn posts? Which one would you rather read all day?
I gotta this one.
With all the minutes that you are required by law to spend on social media.
Hey,
Death.
at least the neo-Nazis are honest with themselves.
That's true. They're
They're
not in it
just
to make
truly that
money.
hateful.
They just are expressing their beliefs. I don't
now
feel
we
good
got
about this.
demonetized.
I regret that question. Sucked.
That sucked.
All right. My number one pick is actually another serious one. I am a very spiteful person. So I hate when good things happen to bad people. I believe in karma. I believe bad people should have bad things happen. If you were to ask me to choose, what would I rather happen? More good things happen to good people or more bad things happen to bad people? I am proud enough to say it would be the latter. It would be bad things happen. Like I get so much, and maybe that says a lot about me as a person, and I'm comfortable with that. I get so much more enjoyment if you're like watching a TV or a movie and you hate someone and then something bad happens to them and you're fuck yeah, like because you know that doesn't happen in real life. That sucks when good things happen to bad people.
And that is a super, super key point is that we so rarely see it happen in real life. I mean, like we know good people that good things happen to them, but we so rarely see actual bad stuff happen to truly bad people that I totally get why you want to see more of it because we don't get enough of it. And you don't get that feeling of justice or vengeance or whatever it else might be. Just like it doesn't feel like there is justice in the world when it comes to bad people. This is a great pick. Yeah, from vacuums to porn stars to the general idea of karma, Modai, you are all over the map, and I am loving it.
I got a lot of depth. And before you guys go, the one thing I'll add is the ending of The Big Short, where he's like Ryan Gosling is like making the joke, like, and all those like big bank people that made these mistakes that cost millions of dollars, like obviously they're in jail and all this. Nope, they got filthy rich from it and suffered no penalties. Not a single thing happened.
One patsy who went to jail, and that everybody else made tens to hundreds of millions of dollars, and big organizations made billions of dollars, and nothing changed legislatively.
And the people who suffered were the people, not the corporations that made the mistakes.
I don't. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I have anything to add other than I'd like for less good things to happen to bad people for sure.
I'm just happy about how passionate you were about this. You were firing on all cylinders. You
He
were
said
like
he is proud.
you were like I
You
was
even
with
had a
the
moment of
bank vacuum
self-reflection.
thing. Yeah.
You were like, should I wish for good things for good people? Maybe. But honestly,
Well, most people say, I'm big enough to say, Modai said, I'm proud enough to say. Most people are
said it with his
liars.
whole chest.
Fuck them. They suck.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. All right, my number one. Again, this is twofold. Both are sucks, though. And part of this is I found out recently that it runs in my family, Skeeter syndrome. And so the thing that sucks are mosquitoes. Mosquitoes suck.
What is
Yeah.
Skeeter syndrome?
Yeah, what's that?
It's essentially like just a minor allergy to bites. So like instead of
Sensitivity.
instead of a bug bite like a normal one, it's like this, and it's
Like a
just
welt?
like
Doesn't mean that you're more likely to get bites in the first place.
I don't think so. Also, like, is it really truly a medical thing? No, but it's something my sister talks about, and that I saw on Google, and I'm like, oh, I get really bad bug bites.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm sure there are people that have a greater sensitivity to it. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I've never had a bug bite and been like, man, this kicks ass. Like this fucking is dope as shit. I've never seen anyone be like, I love this. Outside
Bug
of Pleakley,
bites.
very briefly in Lilo and Stitch, and even Pleakley realized they were awful.
They suck.
Yeah,
I'm a
terrible.
masochist, so I actually really enjoy bug bites.
I don't want you to be part of this show anymore.
I'm
I
proud
was
to
so
say
on your
I
side,
enjoy
and
bug
now I think
bites.
you're an idiot.
I'm
Yeah,
joking, by the way.
mosquitoes suck. This is another double meta pick basically because they suck and then the bites themselves suck.
Yeah, they suck,
Yeah,
and then it sucks.
I'm definitely one of those people that gets like double the amount of bug bites as the people right next to me when I'm in a situation. I'll come home and like my ankles will just be torn to shreds with just mosquito bites. It sucks.
I've never felt. I finally feel bad for you. Like I usually don't care about, your life.
All right.
I feel bad for you now.
Okay.
Do you think, and I'm not saying that you're lying or gaslighting us, although you might be doing both. Do you think that there might be like some level of like cognitive bias to that? Like you remember the times where you feel like you were the only one getting bit, but
He's
if you're
counted.
not getting bit, then you don't think about it? Or are you like always across the board just torn to
No,
shreds?
pretty much always. You can ask Sarah about this. Like if she
Okay.
will get bit, but then like we'll come home and my ankles will be like 40 bites.
You
Like
should send him the Excel sheets you make of your bug bites. It's not weird.
I love
I'll-
an Andrew Simon Excel sheet.
all right, I'll keep track of all the bug bites all summer and just
Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds miserable.
Compare them to your fiance, so we know the delta between the two.
Yeah.
Sounds super spectrumy.
Speaking of my fiance, speaking of wives, fiancés,
This is gonna be good.
girlfriends, my number one is, and I think you guys will all agree with me, it's not overly mean at all, but it is being asked to get something right after you lay down. Like being, I'm thinking water bottle, I'm thinking anything, but right after you lay down.
No notes.
She in the room?
No notes.
Yeah.
She can come say hi.
No notes.
Guest appearance. Yeah, no, maybe a perfect pick. You're not. I thought you were going in a very different direction when you're like, speaking of my fiance and wives.
I thought it was going to be
girlfriends."
wedding planning, to be honest. I feel like you're in the midst of it, so I thought that was coming up. But no, this
Yeah,
bingo.
it's a good pick.
I figured it's kind of across the board. It's a common thing that we all experience.
It's like vacuums. You can't argue that it sucks.
It's also, much like vacuums, memeable. So memeability is high.
Memeability is super high on this
Pretty
pick.
memeable.
Things that rock. Memeability.
Yeah. I mean, look, not to spoil anything, but that might be on Andrew's list. All right, let's do our recaps real quick, and then we'll get out of here. My number 5, unskippable ads, literally everywhere. At number 4, the inescapable rise of sports betting apps. Number 3, phone recordings of concerts and events. Number 2, summer vacation not existing after you're done with school. And then number 1, just social media across the board. All of it. It's the worst. It sucks.
My number 5, vacuums. They suck. Number 4, the suck it invention from David Wallace from The Office. My number 3, we'll go with independent video content creators. Porn stars suck.
You
My
said
number
you
2.
ended up saying it anyways.
Well, I needed the people to know what I was referring to.
Wait.
Game Freak, my number 2 sucks, and my number 1, when good things happen to bad people.
My number 5 is stabbing your Capri Sun straw all the way through. Number 4 is the drain at the bottom of the pool. That does suck. Number 3, movie trailers, but specifically when you're at the movie theater. I could have done a whole list on movie theaters. Number 2, the vacuum tubes at bank drive-thrus and apparently some random theater in New York. And number 1, mosquitoes.
All right. And my list of things that suck. Number 5, having to flip between streaming services. Number 4, stepping in gum. Number 3, when it gets dark way too early, like 4 to 5 p.m. Number 2, the sound of calls or pings from Microsoft Teams or Slack or your work applications. And number 1, being asked to get something right after you lay down.
Good stuff. You know what
We had
sucks?
some good picks.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like how overly serious and genuinely depressing my own list is kind of sucked. So for things that rock, coming soon, or stuff that rocks, or I don't know, we'll figure it out. It's gonna be a little bit, a little bit more memeable. I'm gonna take a chill pill. I'm gonna relax. I haven't done one of these in over a month, so clearly I had some things to say. If you are still watching us or still listening to us and you've not already hit the like button or the follow button or the subscribe button or any of that other dumb bullshit that I tell you every single time, please do so. And also, please make sure you tune in for our next episode coming soon. I'm not going to say when, but soon. And we'll see you next time for Things That Rock.